developed a new supercomputer that blows Google's Sycamore out of the water. China's Zuchongzhi-3 is a superconducting quantum processor, and it's already 10 to the 15th times faster than Google's Sycamore. Implications of quantum computing will have a major effect on a wide variety of industries, from security to trading and even Bitcoin mining. I wanted to talk a little bit about Zuchongzhi-3 and what the development means for workers, the economy, and the petit bourgeois who now have their jobs threatened. Zuchongzhi-3 is a 105 qubit superconducting quantum processor, and it came out of the University of Science and Technology of China in collaboration with the Shanghai Research Center for Quantum Sciences, the Henan Key Laboratory of Quantum Information and Cryptography, China National Institute of Metallurgy, Jinan Institute of Quantum Technology and Microelectronics at Xi'an University, and the Institute of Theoretical Physics. A post-quantum society makes cryptocurrency obsolete. Its composition is a sapphire substrate with a circuit of titanium aluminum to help reduce electromagnetic noise. Zuchongzhi-3 has a two-dimensional grid architecture. The qubits are coupled, quote, via a dense network of 182 couplers, enabling flexible 2-qubit interactions across the chip. The chip uses a flip chip integration, which means they're fused face to face, and this method achieves high density interconnects while also not sacrificing signal loss. So just to give an example of how powerful and advanced Zuchongzhi-3 is, quote, the researchers demonstrated that Zuchongzhi-3, a 105 qubit superconducting quantum processor, completed a complex computational task in mere seconds, according to the study. By comparison, simulating the same task on the world's most powerful supercomputer, Frontier, would take an estimated 6.4 billion years. The Chinese supercomputing industry has altering implications across security, cryptocurrency, markets, and trading. Zuchongzhi-3 has made extraordinary advancements in regards to random circuit sampling. Random circuit sampling is a proof of concept task. Quantum computing does pose a security threat, as it has been able to bypass encryption. In October of 2024, researchers from Shanghai University discovered new vulnerabilities in RSA encryption when they were able to surpass security measures with the D-Wave Advantage quantum computer. Supercomputers like China's D-Wave Advantage and China's Zuchongzhi-3 are advanced enough to surpass the most robust and comprehensive encryption techniques, posing a serious concern for the future of cybersecurity. Mining is now going to not be the labor required to mine Bitcoin now has greatly been reduced thanks to supercomputing, so miners will probably have to find a second job, but that's okay. A lot of jobs that had the luxury of working from home and really create no benefit to society other than collecting metadata are now going to feel the pressure, because the American tech industry really ignored China for the past 20 years and never really saw them as competition, and now I think they're forced to pay attention. The lab where Zuchongzhi-3 was developed was funded by the Chinese government as part of research and development into quantum computing. The Chinese government has invested over $10 billion into the development of quantum computers, and one of the recipients was the Laboratory for Quantum Information Sciences in Hefei, where this was developed. A big part of the Bitcoin market is Bitcoin mining, where you have computers that are completing these hash rates and completing like a ledger. So in Bitcoin, for example, the mining process is adding new transactions to the ledger. Mining Bitcoin used to be a super energy heavy process, and now with supercomputers, completing a ledger isn't going to be some complicated, drawn out process that requires an astronomical amount of computing power. Now supercomputers can do it. So, you know, Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, I would expect to see a pretty major pullback. The Western national security apparatus depend heavily on the tech industry as a means for collection of metadata, which they hand over to governments for surveillance purposes. The tech industry has been in bed with fascists for a while. I mean, starting back from early 2000s, you have the Patriot Act, which greenlit the collection of metadata and basically made every citizen a suspect, and suspended the few protections that we had on our privacy. And tech, specifically in America, with the facilitation of Five Eyes, really has been a tool of oppression, not just in the US, but obviously abroad. You see the Zionist state using AI programs like Lavender that target civilians, and they use that to, you know, deploy drone strikes on Palestinians living on their own land. So it remains to be seen what quantum computing will have, you know, quantum computing will no doubt have an effect on AI programs like Lavender, and it will be interesting to see what Western governments do to prevent being overtaken by non-Western tech. Supercomputers like Zuchongzhi have the power to debase Silicon Valley from their dominant position in the industry, render billion-dollar industries obsolete, and have ripple effects across fields from AI to trade to defense. As previously mentioned, the mining community will no doubt be compelled to reevaluate the utility and purpose of Bitcoin, and if there's room for it in Zuchongzhi-3's world. The computational power required to complete transactions. Okay. So yeah, that's a little bit about Zuchongzhi. You know, Americans have been demonizing China rapidly, going froth-mouthed. You know, trade wars, sanctions, all of these kinds of like soft power ways that we try to get China to bend the knee. But, you know, despite all of that, it is not, it is safe to say that America has been dethroned as the world superpower. And yeah, so